let's talk about the introduction of the COVID travel pass schemes. It could unravel if measures are not taken to combat the threat of fake vaccination and counterfeit test certificates. These are increasingly being sold on the dark net and via the messaging app Telegram. We all knew that was going to happen on Telegram, didn't we? This is according to a leading provider of cybersecurity solutions. They further warn that while African countries are yet to adopt this planned COVID passport scheme that they currently have in the EU and the UK. Well, Checkpoint Software Technologies Africa Regional Director, Mr. Pankaj Bula, joining us to just help me understand. Pankaj, good morning to you. I think at some point in the future, there was going to be some kind of COVID-19 vaccine pass. It was going to have to be formalized when we eventually get there. And without a doubt, when it comes to information, there are those who are going to want to try and sell that on the black market. I just didn't think we would be there already. Good morning.
Good morning, Gareth. We're very much there. In fact, our research stats reveal that from March to May this year, there's been an increase of about 500% fake COVID test certificates or fraudulent, positive, negative results, whatever you want to call it, on the dark web being sold through the app you mentioned, Telegram.
So just help me understand, this is currently taking place predominantly where in the world? Because in South Africa, we're not at that point yet, but this is something we have to watch out for, isn't it?
I think the research that we run. We're a global organization, so the research is conducted on a global basis. So unfortunately, the situation is across the globe. I personally saw it firsthand when I traveled to Nairobi in May earlier this year, about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And there was an individual that attempted to bypass the process by using a manual printout of the document. But when that person was asked to show the validity of it on an app, so on a Landsat app or an MPET app, that person was not able to provide that. And by further investigation, they found that the individual certainly had got the printout done by someone who could edit other versions of it, and obviously that would be from people that are providing those services, like you said, from the dark web, dark net.
I would have thought in 2021, though, Pankaj, that it would be moving away from paper. I did see somewhere ahead of you and I talking that there was the use of a QR code. I would have thought those were pretty safe to use, but I suppose where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, Gareth, you're absolutely right. So the UK and the European Union are using something called a COVID passport scheme. So you get a QR code, and that QR code is used for the individual users there to travel around. Now, in Africa, fortunately, Ethiopia and Rwanda Air, through the International Air Transport Association, namely ITA, they're rolling out a mobile travel pass. So, one uploads their details onto this online tool, and then the validity of it is verified, and when you travel, you get scanned through that. There's also the African Union Center of Disease Control, and they're running a trusted travel pass that releases a QR code, but it's in a pilot phase. So really, our reach out, or as you mentioned earlier, is something needs to be done around centralizing this. Around getting some sort of consistent platform, or consistent way of managing these travel passes.
Pankaj, before I say goodbye to you now, I'm so glad you brought up the way of managing this as a way to go forward. Based on how the vaccine rollout has gone, as far as government is concerned, I don't think many people would be overly confident in allowing and just letting government to try and run with this, what are we calling it, this COVID travel pass when it eventually gets here. Private organizations such as yourself, the experts in this field, need to be involved in this. What would you tell government today, Pankaj, because they're watching? Of course, the President is watching you and I talk now. What do you tell government to try and get ahead of this so we don't have this problem like the EU and the UK?
Yes, so I've always said that in terms of so really what we're discussing is unfortunately due to people's behavior, non-conformity of standard platforms, it opens up the opportunity for fraudulent hackers to take advantage, right? Take advantage of the average consumer as well as the systems. So we always, our mantra or our message to government or to private or to consumers is there's three things. One is the culture. So we've got to address the culture around people trying to cut corners, and that that comes with penalties. So certainly we need to encourage some form of addressing that. There are software tools or technologies available that allows you to build these collaborative or let's call it online platforms. And certainly we would encourage governments or even private sector to reach out to us and other organizations similar to that. And last but not least, unfortunately, cybercrime is on the rise. We saw the bill passed by the president, so that's great. But really, what we have is that there are software technologies that one can deploy on their mobile devices that will allow you to protect you from malicious code that is being sent to you by fraudulent hackers. So it's a combination of culture, using the right platforms, and certainly encouraging the appropriate software tools being used.
Well, the advice from Pankaj Bula himself, Regional Director for Africa, Checkpoint Software Technologies. We aren't there yet with the COVID travel pass scheme. There's some form of that, but we're going to get there. So let's try and get ahead of the technology issues before that. My thanks to you, Pankaj.